This episode of the Fight Within podcast is presented to you by Meguiar's. For over 115 years, Meguiar's has been carefully creating and producing advanced formulas with cutting-edge chemistry to deliver a show car perfect appearance. Whether you're showing on the fairway, finalizing your car for auction, or simply getting your beloved car ready for a weekend drive, Meguiar's is ready to help with their premium car care products to make every automotive surface look its absolute best. Meguiar's, reflect your passion. Make sure to visit them at meguiars.com.
What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Fight With Him podcast. Today's guest is powerlifter and entrepreneur Pitbull Torres. Thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries, man.
We have a mutual connection, young man, Talon.
Yes.
Who is a very hard worker, and he's been training with you for a few years now.
Yeah.
And you've kind of gotten him to where he is now, and he's obviously going to continue to grow. But so a big shout out to Talon, and you're known online and through life as a power lifter. Now you're kind of diving into being an entrepreneur, being a gym owner. You have merchandise that you're selling. I want to know why. What got you into powerlifting? Was transfer or going from powerlifting to entrepreneur just a natural progression for you, or where did that drive come from to really focus on powerlifting and especially training others?
It goes back all the way from like just sports, I would say football. I played soccer and baseball, but football was like my main sport, so I was always a smaller guy and stuff like that. So I remember not being pretty good my first 2 years, not even really knowing what's like going on with the game of football, because there's a lot of things going on, so I remember like the third year like clicked and stuff like that, so I was getting a little bit better. But I think just like the training aspect, I've always liked training for something. I fell in love with football, and just training for something was just like kind of what I fell in love with. I like the process, seeing the results, getting stronger, getting bigger. Just the process is like, that's what they say. I think Kobe has a quote, like, once you fell in love with the process, that's when you know like you won, because it's just like, it's a process thing. Nothing great comes overnight. So I just enjoyed training, and like I was always pretty strong. And once I stopped playing football, I was like, I guess I'll pursue this like lifting thing, because Instagram was getting big. Everyone was doing it. When I competed in powerlifting, it wasn't even popular. Like no one was doing it. Or like powerlifting back in the day was like they wear like the suits, like you're like those
the wrestling
things.
suits.
The wrestling, I'd say wrestling.
They're not even. They're like wrestling suits, like made out of Kevlar. So
wow.
They protect your growing, like your freaking everything, your intestines. Those are people that squat like 1,000 pounds, 1,200, or they wear the bench shirt, and it's like the same thing. It's like Kevlar on their chest, and it's like protects their pecs and shoulders. But it's obviously like helping them lift it too. I mean, it still takes strength to do it, but now raw powerlifting is like popular. No one wears that stuff anymore. It's just like you go into the gym and lift. So I think the sports got me into like fitness and powerlifting for sure. I always lifted to be a better athlete, and it was never like, oh, I'm gonna be a bodybuilder or like a power lifter. It was like, not just football. And I had that, you got to come to a realization and be real with yourself. A lot of people don't, they want to try to think they're going to go to the NFL or play arena, and they're just playing football. They're 27 years old, 26, and they don't even know what they're doing with their life, have no money, still living at home. So I knew that wasn't going to be me. So once I went to Saddleback, and I played like a year there, and then once I knew school wasn't for me, I couldn't balance the two. I was like, got a normal job, $8 an hour, 9 to 5, working warehouse. I worked for LA Fitness, 24-hour fitness. But my best job that I did was probably working warehouse, because I learned how to package and ship, and that's how I ran my business. I was shipping out clothes. I did everything by myself for over a year and like 6 months, and now I have like 2 other workers that help me now. So now I have people slowly helping me. But yeah, man, fitness fitness saved my life. Like, I don't know, I guess they say fitness helped me. It didn't save my life, but like it guided me in that right path. And no one ever pushed me for sports. My mom didn't really want me to play football. It was more my uncles like, sign him up, man, sign him up. My dad, he worked Monday through Saturday. I only saw him Sunday, so he never came to none of my practices, none of my football games, nothing. So it was not like I was my uncles were there for me to like go to practice and stuff like that, but no one was telling me to no one told me like to do this, and I did push-ups on my own. A lot of the stuff too, it feels like I wanted it, you know. A lot of people, they don't really know what they want, or it comes very easy for them, but I knew like I wasn't the best and the biggest, and there's always people better than me, so like.
But do you think that helped you, is kind of almost like having a chip on your shoulder?
Yeah, I just
self-motivated.
100%. Like, I was always the underdog, always every year I was the smallest kid on the football team, like every year till high school, the smallest, shortest dude on the team. Yeah. And it just made me feel like I had to outwork everybody, and like I was known for that too, like by the time I got to high school and stuff like that.
But how do you let that not deter you from your goal? Because it I can see how it'd be very easy. I coach high school football.
Yeah.
I can see how it'd be very easy for the smallest kid to be discouraged and not want to go pursue those dreams or those goals or the aspirations that they have, because all you want to do is get on the field.
Yeah.
And so what did you do so that it didn't deter you away from the things that you wanted to accomplish?
Life isn't fair. Just not feel sorry for myself, you know. Like, I knew I couldn't get taller, or like, you know, so it's like you're either gonna complain about your life sucks, or you know, or you're gonna do something about it. So I knew I was back in high school. Like, I think I watched a lot of motivational videos, and I remember this one video talked about time is the most precious thing. Yeah. And like, I remember I just never wanted to waste time in like high school. I was always working out, training. Like, either right after football practice, I was at LA Fitness working out till 11:30, 12 o'clock, like Monday through Friday. You know, a lot of people thought I was overtraining, doing more enough things, but it was just like, for my time, I was always trying to work harder and harder and harder, and like, it worked for me, but I can't do that no more. But like, when I was younger, like, just put, and it's not self-discipline, you know, because not every day, like, even to this day, I don't want to lift heavy. I don't want to put 500-600 pounds on my back, but it's just the discipline to do it every day and just like work, you know. I don't feel like waking up every morning and going to work and getting things done for my business, buying things, but it's like discipline to just go in and just like make it the best out of your time, because you can never get time back. Like today, whatever, even if it's the rep, you want to be, you know, you want to be a little bitch and just like not do your last 2 reps in your head, like, oh, it's hard, and give up. Like, you'll never get that set back. Like, you'll never get reps back. I'm gonna start working out Monday. It's like, you know, it's like Friday. It's like, to start tomorrow, but like, nobody wants to get that. You know, time's the most precious thing.
So I think people don't have, we've talked about it on the show before, but like, they don't have the drive and the grit, the determination they want to be good at something, whether it's business or athlete. Yeah. They want it. But how many people are going to go to the gym after freaking like practice and get after it? Like,
and to me, that as I get older, it's like it stays. It's like how you are as younger is like it's going to dictate how you are in the future. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it's that drive that got you.
It's that drive that got me at a young age, that taught me how. Because I'm type of, like, I don't know anything besides, like, I guess you could say, like, hard work. All I know is like working hard. I guess like training for something and doing that is like what I know. And like, it's almost like in the beginning of my business, it's like, am I doing the right thing by packaging my own orders and draining my body, because I still got to work out? And I used to freaking like wake up at 8 o'clock. I would have to, in the beginning of my business, I was shipping out like 40, 50, 60 orders a day, and it was just like, I would be working from 8 to like 5 o'clock, and then go to the gym around like eat, and then go to the gym around like 7, 8, and then train for like 2-3 hours, and then go back and do the thing. And like, my training is like heavy training. It's not like I'm gonna go there for the pump and the squeeze. It's like physically taxing your central nervous system. Like, it was hard. So I'm like, am I doing the right thing by not hiring people? Because I wanted to do everything myself in the beginning. But then you come to a point where you're like, man, my time is more valuable doing something else. I could be doing meetings. I could be expanding my business instead of like over here packaging orders, trying to save a dime because you don't want to hire somebody or something like that. So
I know it's the cheesy saying, but it's so true. Like, I used to hate when people said this to me when I was starting, but it's true. But working on your business versus in your business, it's one of those things where you're like, dude, I get it. Like, I need to work on my business. I get it. But at the same time, like, unless you've been handed everything, like you still have to, there's got to be like that fine line, right? Like
Yeah.
you had to do what you were doing to get your business going.
Yeah.
So it's always one of those funny things where I'm just like, it's easy for you to say as you're driving your Bentley. Of course you could say that, you know, but did you do that when you started? Probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, that comes down to, I think, like you said, I guess not having a lot of things too. You know,
Yeah.
like I wasn't some like broke kid and didn't have nothing. I know my mom and dad try to do as much as I can, but like as a young kid, I've always wanted like more, and I like never could get all the things I wanted. I remember just it pissing me off, like not being able to like get what I wanted, like, you know, and walking home from school, growing up at Irvine, seeing all these kids, mom and daddy buying them cars, and I'm just like, damn, I love cars, and just seeing people drive, and I'm just like, man, like one day I'm gonna have my own car, like and just like when you take that for like when you never had that, like you're just so much more hungrier, dog. That's why people from the ghetto or like, you know, the wherever hard upbringings, a lot of those people come the most successful, because it's either like, you know, you're gonna be okay with being mediocre, not having a lot, or you're gonna like want more for yourself and like try to like go above and beyond. And so not having all the stuff as a younger age like just really like made me like appreciate it, just want it more, you know. Always wanted a nice car, you know, a gym too, but I mean, crazy how fast the gym came and stuff like that. But like just having your own spot, having your own things, instead of like, you know, just getting it when you get it handed to you, it's never as appreciated, you know. Even when you give someone a job and you pay them, they're not gonna, you know, it's like your coffee, you know, your stuff. They're not going to run your business, like make the coffee how you're going to make it, because you've been making it since the beginning. Yep. Even if you show them directly, I mean, exactly how to do it, and then they do it right in front of you, they're still not going to do it right.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's your baby, right?
Exactly, 100%.
It's your blood, sweat, and tears. It's the grind of working all day by yourself, then going to the gym. It's all that stuff. For me, it's working all day, trying to fit the gym in, and then going home to be a dad. It's like, it's all those things where it's like, you know, people don't get it until they have to do it.
Until you have to do it and stuff like that.
Which kind of is like, and I don't mean this in a weird way, but it's a rare breed of people to be able to do that, right?
Hell yeah, for sure, man.
So which is dope. We've never met before, but right before we started, I was looking at his Instagram and stuff like that. It's a rad name, cool brain. I like that. But it does take a rare breed, like legit, to be able to go and do everything you just described. Everything to do, you know, to be a fighter like you were doing, and athletes and business owners, it takes rare breeds to do those, and people don't get it. Like, and that's okay, because not everyone's meant to do it, right? Because if they were, we wouldn't be rare breeds.
Why do you think more and more people don't fall in love with the process, though? Because you hear people talk about it all the time, and yes, until you go through it, you may not know how to do it or how to handle it, but from my experiences, and you can speak on this, is that's when the growth happens. And during the process, you never really, when you get to the end goal, you're there, but the growth happens in between. You know, so why don't you think more people are attracted to that? Like, I used to love practice. I used to love going to practice. I just got to show off when I fought. Or for football, I love Monday through Wednesday, walk through Thursday, and then you get to show off what you did on Friday. Yeah,
just everybody wants the quick success, the fast results, you know. But probably especially now because of social media, like everyone like makes it live like they're living a perfect life. No one really likes to post like their negatives or what's going on, like wrong with them. It's all like positive. Like it's like a highlight reel, like Instagram for people, or like Facebook is like a highlight reel, and a lot of people don't show like the negatives and stuff like that, or like how they got there and stuff like that. But like you said, it's the day in and day out. Like you should love that, man. Like if you don't, like that's why I remember like coaches would hate players that only wanted to play on game day, because like that's not realistic. Like, that's not realistic. That's not gonna work for you in the future. You know, you got to put in that work, and it just makes, to me, it's like you said, you used to love practice. Like it's so much more like, you know, it's like it makes everything more worth it. You know what I'm saying? When you train so hard for it, and then that day you gotta like put everything on the line for it. It's a big I don't know. It's just like you saying, you grow through those processes of learning. It's like, I don't know. I think everyone just wants the fast results. Like I remember as a young kid being like, man, I'm gonna be the strongest in the world at 25 and whatever. And then like now that I'm like 27, it's like it's just like time evolved. People like I thought I was, because like I'm up there in like I'm in the 181 weight class for powerlifting. I'm like probably ranked top 10. And I was just like, man, I thought I would be the best already. Like, I was number 1 in the world at 17, but it's just like, it shows that, like, you know, like, a lot of people ask, like, when are you going to, like, are you still going to compete? Because, like, to me, there's no reason to competing unless I'm going to break world records. Like, I'm not going to go to a competition and win a trophy, like, for what? Yeah. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to go there to break records that are going to stay there permanently forever, not just freaking, you know, get a little trophy. I've done that. I've got the little state records and city records. I'm going for, like, all-time world records. I've been there since like the 80s, 60s. And it's hard to, like, it's like a perfect fight, you know. You gotta have a perfect fight camp. You can't get hurt, stuff like that. But my end goal is to be number 1, and it's like I'm never gonna stop until like I get there. And it's like you have all these little obstacles, like, you know, you get hurt, it's like you want to give up, you hurt your back, you hurt your knee, and you're like, man, how am I gonna get there? And it's just like you want to, it's easy to give up because you're just like, fuck, other people are getting stronger, I'm getting hurt. But it's just like, realistically, like, how bad you want it, or like you never know how close you are to, like, there's that one meme, it's like it's like when that guy's digging for gold and he's like so close to success, and then, like, you know, he walks all the way back, and it's just like a further walk back than it was if you just would have kept on pushing, you know. And it's just like, I think Nipsey Hussle has a quote like that. He's just like, the only difference between me is like I never quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one wanted to sign him for his music because he was still gangbanging, and like he still never stopped. And look at, he made his own record deal. You know, like, and then everyone now tries to have their own record deal. You know, because he just didn't quit. Like, he had a vision of doing it on his own, and hey, it took him longer. He missed up on a lot of opportunity on money. He only has one album, but shit, he's like, he blew up and stuff like that. So I think a lot of the times it just takes it takes a long time, and people just quit too easy. To me, you know, they quit too easy, like a diet, whatever. They start, you know, for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and then they quit. Even working out, for a year, 2 years, they get, you know, they just can't. They quit too easy when it's like, you know, this shit's hard, man. It's not. It's like if you work at a job, you work a 9 to 5. Like, I feel like they show you like how long you got to stay to even make big money. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing when you start your business. It's not like, I think you can make your money faster when you're 100%. In control of it. So it's like you have more.
Which is like you were saying, how bad do you want it?
How bad do you want it? Exactly. And so I'm saying, normally when you come from nothing, you're going to want a lot. You know what I'm saying? But if you already come with like, oh, here's a brand new Mercedes, or like, you're going to be like, well, like, I'm kicking it. Like,
there's no value though.
There's no value. Exactly.
Or understanding of value.
Understanding of value.
Yeah, like, you don't understand how a $500 car payment a month affects you until you have it.
But that was a big reason why I started this podcast too, was like you were saying, social media is this facade. It's fake. Everyone, it's a highlight reel and I think if you show people the failures, you'd almost help more people out, because now people can relate and say like, oh wow, he messes up like I mess up. He fails like I fail. But the difference is that he kept going. He didn't stop when he failed. He didn't stop when he gave up. He kept going. Because he has a goal to reach. He has something that he wants to accomplish, and he's not going to stop till he gets there. And I think that's where people mess up, and that's why, like, when people open up and share their story, people need to realize that the success you've had, the records that you've broken, the titles that you've won, those weren't because you decided to work out one day. Those were hours and hours and hours of pushing weight and dedicating yourself while your friends might have been partying, 100%. While your friends might have been hanging out with the girls or doing whatever. You decided, no, I'm gonna go to the gym while you guys do that, because I have these goals I want to accomplish. And so where do you think that mentality comes from? Is it your uncles that helped push you and motivate you, the support that you had? For you, what was it?
I think definitely like my uncles like pushed me to do it, but I just think probably being more part of, like, I think maybe probably just the whole football, like being a part of a team, and like, you know, you're like, the better you are, the better you're making your team. You know what I'm saying? So like, you're very, you keep on like getting the team better. But then also I did wrestling too, and so wrestling was very one-on-one, and then I was like, man, I like this because now I don't have to worry about scoring a touchdown and then someone holds and that shit gets called back. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's one-on-one, it's me versus you, man versus man, and I think that was when I really like like I said, I got this very like into myself. Like to me, it's like I like I don't know, like you gotta have a purpose to me, like in life. Like I found that very young. Like I don't know, I just wanted to be strong, I guess you could say, when I was young. Like because I feel like I'm never into anime. I think about Talon, you know, Tiny, he loves anime and stuff, and like, you know, I just always wanted to be strong. I was little, so I knew I just wanted to be strong, but it wasn't like, I don't know, I never like saw it like super like into detail like why I wanted to be so strong, but it helped me like a lot with like just future things, you know what I'm saying? But I think I was just very self-disciplined, like on to start everything. I just wanted it. To me, it's like my purpose. Like I wanted to have my face in the high school forever. I wanted to, you know, come back and see my records and stuff like that as a freshman year. Like I would look up there, see the 1,000-pound totals, and I'm like, I'm gonna be number one, and I'm probably gonna be 150 pounds. Like it was just like I had a purpose like at a very young age, and I think I feel like I grew up quick with my uncles. I was always around older people my whole life. Like when I was probably 5 years old, my uncles were like 25, 26, so they were always older. I was going to car shows with them, just more mature, you know. So I remember watching like crazy movies with them, like in third grade, like just rated R movies and stuff like that, like crazy stuff like this. I remember it's like just crazy movies like that, and so it made me just grow up quicker, you know. I was just very mature at a young age, so I kind of felt like I knew what I wanted at a very young age. And it goes back to like seriously like watching like war movies and stuff. And I remember like I forget what movie it is, but I think it's that movie Troy, and it's all like, you know, he talks about like, oh, you got to fight that one big guy. I would never want to fight him, and he goes like, oh, that's why you'll never be remembered. You know, and he's just like, when I like legit, like when I die, I want my name to be like remembered for like decades and years and shit like that. And to me, like you gotta have a big impact, and that's why like being number one in the world, having your records like in powerlifting stay there like that. No one could take that away. That's gonna be in there forever, depending on how far you take it. But that's, to me, it's like a purpose. I like living with a purpose, and those are like my goals. I want to just like make an impact, and there's like not like I'm doing it for anybody. I'm just doing it for myself. And even when I started competing in powerlifting, like I wasn't like, oh man, there's this guy on Instagram, he's stronger than me. Like it was just like me versus me, like how far I could take it, you know. And now I got all this stuff on Instagram, and people try to compete with each other, and it makes it fun to me. It's like, oh cool, there's another guy like in Iowa freaking just as strong as me or something like that. It gives it a little bit more motivation. But at the end of the day, if you're doing this for someone else, like it ain't gonna work for you.
Does that add fuel to the fire for you, knowing that there's like, sure, it's fun,
yeah, it does add fuel to the fire. You still want to be
number one.
Yeah, it's definitely like fuel to the fire, man. It's like it's super motivating, you know. It's super motivating to see other guys stronger than you. Like, cause I've always been humble. I've never been like I'm the biggest, strongest dude. There's always like, to me, I have the mindset of there's always someone bigger, faster, stronger than me. Like, and everyone always tells me like, bro, you're the most person I've ever seen lift weight for like your body weight. I'm like, I don't care. There's probably someone out there, because I do know people that are stronger than me, like at my body weight and stuff like that. But there's only a few I could name on top of my hand, you know. So, but I do know there's someone out there. So I'm humble. I'm not gonna be saying I'm the strongest guy in, you know, SoCal for my weight. You know, there's no point.
Yeah. Shifting gears a little bit into now, I was in an extremely selfish sport in fighting. You're in an individual sport that I guess is a selfish sport, but yet you train and you help other people. Where do you find that balance to be like, okay, I need to focus on myself, but I also want to see that person succeed? Is it because you've created a team? Because you've had like, okay, these guys are part of my gym, they're a part of my team, so I want to see their success because it's going to help everybody out? Where does that mentality shift come from?
Honestly, I started personal training like maybe 5 years ago, and I sucked at it. Like I was working front desk at a gym, and one of my ex-girlfriends was like, why are you sitting here? Like, you sit here for $10 an hour and do nothing, like, on Instagram. She's like, you could be training someone minimally for $40 an hour. So someone will pay that to train with you. And I was like, fuck, you just changed my whole mindset. So I started training, and at first I trained her, and I was teaching her. She wanted to learn how to do powerlifting, and man, it was so hard. Like, I'm an athlete. Like, it was easy for someone to tell me, and I was able to do it. But when you get someone that, I'm not saying she wasn't an athlete, but it's like some people are just not like pick up things as fast. It's hard. Like, where do you go? Each person has different learning capabilities. Each person has different mobility limits. So teaching someone and they do it wrong and then having to reteach them is very hard. It's like they say like an old dog doesn't learn a new trick. It's very hard to teach someone that's been doing something for so long and then reteach it. So to me, it was more passion, because there's so many shitty trainers out there that it's, at the end of the day, people are training because of money. They ain't training because they love it. People train because of money. Like, they see they can make money. They like working out, and they're like, oh, money. They're not seeing that as, unless you are legit passionate, and there's very few people out there like that. But for me, like I said, I started because I needed money, and then I started learning how to do it. I was training my girl, and then I started getting clients, and I had to physically go through like trial and error. I wasn't the best client. I was trying to make everyone do things just like me, but no, everyone can train like me. I was just killing people type stuff. And biggest thing, just learning the body, the mechanics of it. Like, it's so much different. And that was when I started tying into more like, all right, why did all my friends get hurt in high school that had ACL problems, elbow problems? And then it was all because all of my friends that lacked like technique or didn't take the weight room as serious. And that's why I was trying to help like talent. As soon as I saw him walk into the weight room or the gym, Jay Walk was training him. I was like, oh my God, this kid is huge. And his feet were so flat-footed, just super bad for him. And I was like, man, I would be dope to train this kid. And obviously he has an ex-NFL coach training him. I was like, that NFL coach is going to for sure want to train this kid. And so after the end of the day, his dad, someone comes up to me, and it was his dad, and he's like, hey man, I follow you on YouTube or whatever, like, I want you to train my son. And he says his son's that big kid I saw. And I was like, man, no way, like, this is dope. So I started training talent, and that was probably my first kid I got. I was training kids, but a kid that I got that was actually consistent, that came 3 times a week, because a lot of parents are worried lifting stunts your growth, all that. That's just a whole myth, man. You're either going to be tall or you're not. We all got growth plates, and they're all set when you're fucking born. You're either going to be tall or you're not. You can start lifting at the age of 6 years old, even younger. But that's just a big myth. And he grew like 3 inches from when he was 12 to now he's 15 and stuff like that, and just got his technique. He could barely move, and man, it was so frustrating, just to talk to a 12-year-old, to look at him in the eyes and make sure he's actually comprehending what you say. Because I'll say 2 sentences, and he's just like, I'm telling him, like, I'm hard on him, bro. All my kids, I get this, like, I'm a dick, man. How I learned training was just like blue collar, hard nose. And there's this one, I think it's he has a kids in the NFL named St. Brown or something like that. Their last name's St. Brown. They got 2 kids in the NFL, and his dad trains them. And they go, it's a little off topic, but he's like, the news is asking him, oh yeah, what style of training you do? He's like, oh, I call my style of training black coffee. He's not everybody likes black coffee. Not everybody can drink black coffee. A lot of people like to put sugar in their coffee. A lot of people put milk in their coffee. He's like, that's my type of training. Not everybody can take it. And that's the way when the first day I trained Tiny, I said, hey man, you're going to have a lot of people tell you how to lift. You're going to get a high school, and you're going to have all these coaches telling you to lift this way and this way. I was like, I don't want you to listen to anyone but me. And he goes, yes, coach, and that kid is like, bro, he makes me so fucking happy. He's the only kid that actually like listened to what I said and did it. Not why, but this guy said, because I remember I was telling him to do a lunge, and he's like, oh, the coach I mentioned said, I was like, I don't give a fuck what he said. I said, do it how I told you. You're gonna have people telling you how to do like this. I don't care what they say. Do it how I told you. And they have a problem, tell them to talk to me. And then so he's like, yes, coach. And he's still that way. Like he was going to camps at, I think, Mission, or I don't know where he was at. I think he was going to some football camp over there, and they wouldn't let him bench more than a plate. And he was just like getting all pissed, because he was just like, bro, I can do more. Like, he was just killing it on the circuit. And I was just like, it's okay, you can do what you do, and then after that go lift more out of practice and stuff like that. And you gotta be a team player and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's just like I'll even like the balance, like training, like I said, how do I balance it? Like I said, you got to balance everything like according to your life and stuff like that. It was very, it's hard, man, but like that's what makes you like, you take it for granted when things are easy. You're like, when things are easy, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like I have too much time in my day. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be like, things are good when it's like one thing after the other, and that's how the training was, just to balance it around my schedule. I put my little 3-4 hour window when I needed to work out, and but when I honestly started my business, I stopped training. I stopped training for a good 5-6 months because I needed to just dial in on business. No matter how broke I was gonna be, I was just gonna focus more on my business. And then once I was able to resell my stuff, like I was able to get that money and just keep on flipping it and doubling and just keep on rotating, flipping my money, making my money back. And I actually just started training like 2 months ago. I maybe have like 7 clients again, and it's fun, man, and I love it. I didn't even mention like how I started my brand. I knew I had a big powerlifting following. I knew I had a big like Latino following, and a lot of short people fuck with me too, because I'm just a smaller guy, and I'm like, a lot of people are like, oh, want to be big, and they're smaller or whatever, and it's just, I mean, I could relate, I could relate with the smaller dudes, and I was like, I want to attack a whole new market, like, people already know me from those markets, how can I attack a big market? I'm like, hey, everyone's fucking like 80-90% of the world is overweight, and I had a good friend from elementary school, his name was Mookie, and I kicked with him every day, we smoke and hang out, and one day I brought it up to him, and he's overweight, man. He's been overweight his whole life since like elementary school. Huge. His mom used to bring him McDonald's and shit. Like this guy was huge. He got up to 470 pounds, and he's only maybe 5'5", 5'6". Short guy.
Wow.
470 pounds. Had to get like lumbar punctions in his spine. He had like a hump on the back of his neck, like probably like 8 inches up, because like all the fluid was going to the back of his head. And he's losing his eyesight. He had like edema, like he couldn't even grow his hair on his skin. His skin was all stretched out. And he was a year older than me, so he was 20. Like when he started, he was probably like 26, 25. He was smoking his pack of cigarettes a day. It was just horrible. And he had all the best trainers, Jenny Craig, like all the most high-end trainers. I'm no big trainer. I'm no diet specialist, bro. It's just, like I said, old school training. There's no secret. It just comes down to buying your food at home and cooking it and making it. There's no special diet. I don't follow my macros. Like, it's just once you start eating good, healthy food over time, your body's gonna see change. If you've been eating whatever you want for your whole life, you got to reverse that. It's like whatever, how old you are, now you got to do years of eating clean to like make up for that years of not eating clean. You got to detox your whole body. But long story short, right? Long story short, I got my buddy to lose over 200 pounds in like a year and like a couple months, like a year and a month. And
that's pretty rad, bro.
I got it all documented on YouTube. It blew up. Like he took a picture of himself. I'm like, hey, bro. We were king. I'm like, hey, I got an idea. Like, imagine if we did, we did a workout once a week, and I filmed you, and we just did it raw. Like, me training you off a GoPro, whatever. We weigh in once a week, and we just keep it just raw and genuine. And he's like, yeah, that'd be dope. And he's always excited to do shit about, hey, but you gotta post a picture. This is gonna be real. If you post a picture and I post on my IG, you're gonna get so many people seeing it. And then if you don't follow through, you're gonna get fucking all these haters on you. It's gonna go crazy. And he's like, yeah, I know. So he posted a picture of him like without a shirt, 400-something pounds. And then he's like, hey, I'm gonna start this journey. Follow me, whatever. Follow the YouTube. And then I reposted it, bro. Within like 24 hours, he gained like 4,000 Instagram followers, like over 400 comments. Like, you can do this. I'm gonna follow you. Got tons of support. So for him, that helped him. He needed that.
It's accountability,
because he was so depressed and dark, okay with being fat, like so content with life, uncomfortable. And he got that accountability, bro, and he was losing 7 pounds every week for like months. And we just started with walking. Cool. We were doing, and I got it all documented on YouTube. I got some videos up to like 700 18,000 views, 700,000 views, 800,000 views, and it's just me filming him with the GoPro working out, dog. Just raw organic stuff, and it's crazy. Like it's pure, just like I wasn't doing it for money, whatever. Yeah, I'm trying to attack a new market. I guess you could say it was for money, but it's more just to like help expand, grow, like get more bigger guys to realizing
the purpose behind it wasn't for money.
Yeah, the purpose wasn't for money. Like people thought like Mookie wasn't like some, like it was just one of my good friends I actually kicked it with, and I got him to lose all that weight. He's now like 250, 60 pounds, and he's just like whole new bro. He was so depressed he didn't even talk. Now the motherfucker won't shut up. He loves the camera. Like he's so happy. Like he's just a complete, and people can see that, and that's why people tapped so into the brand, because they're just like, man, that's crazy. And so like I said, I knew I was gonna sell merch up to like XL, 2XL. Shit, I was selling 6X, 5X, 4X when I first started. I stopped and I only sell maybe about 4X now, but because the 6X and 5X didn't move that much, but I was still moving those, still selling that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, tell us, like, if someone's listening, what the brand is.
Rarebreedlife.com is the website, and like I said, it's just like I'm a power lifter, but it's more like a lifestyle brand. Like I help my buddy through weight loss. I got my other buddy Nate that's on the team. He's more like a same thing, lifestyle, like fit, athletic type dude, not like all powerlifting style like me. But yeah, it's just a group of individuals that are just like, we all got our own little niche, and yeah, man, it's more of a lifestyle brand. Like I said, just like, we all have our, like you said, for you, it takes a rare breed to run, business and balance and do all that stuff. So it's like it attacks a lot more other people, because a lot of people have these brands, and like it depends on how big you want to be it, but it's like a small market.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to, like, and a lot of people tell me that, man, your shit's like, it attracts a lot of people. It's not just like one going towards one niche. It's like, rare breed of everything. Yeah. So
well, and that's something we've talked about so many times, but it's something that's needed in today's world of, dude, we live in, because of social media and living in Orange County, we're around a bunch of just soft people all the time.
I say that shit all the time, bro.
It's like people don't get it.
Why do you think like people from Russia and like all those dark places, UK, they talk shit on us and all that, and it's because it's easier. We got beaches. It's not cold. We don't got to shovel snow. Like, just those little things like that, take it for granted. That's why I say, like, I maybe got my work ethic from my uncle had a construction company in high school. I used to get paid, like, he paid me good, dog, because it was a family and stuff, $20 an hour. But man, I was shoveling dirt, concrete. Go to the house, would be a garage full of just junk, and the lady would be like, yeah, my uncle had trailers, and we'd just take them to the dump, and we'd just dump them. My uncle would be like, here, I'll pay you today. Just pick up all this shit, throw in the back of the trailer, just like working like that in the sun, bro. Like, you don't understand. That type of work is like, because I would pick up thousands of pounds a day, and then I would go do that stuff, and I would be like, dude, how do people do this for 8 hours straight? Like, what the fuck? Like, that shit's insane. But that blue collar work ethic, like, that's like, that's just, I kind of like having a chip on my shoulder that, like, I grew up doing that stuff, because that shit's hard, man. That's like what makes you. If you never had to do stuff like that, like manual labor, like, you don't know what it's like. You don't know what working hard is. And like, yeah, people are like, you gotta work. And that's the thing too, our generation, nobody wants to work harder. They want to all work they all work smarter, not harder. But I feel like as a young person, you need to work harder. You don't need to go the smart route every time.
Yeah, it's what builds character.
Yeah,
and it's like
you can do both though.
You can work smart and hard.
100%.
But you gotta build character, and a lot of that's with who you're brought up with, though, right? Like, my parents had the ability to give me anything I wanted growing up. Did they? Absolutely not. Not even. I mean, they gave me what I needed, but if there was little things like, I remember the Razor scooters came out. All my buddies were getting them, and my dad's like, "Okay, what are you gonna do to get one?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm asking you." And it's just like those little lessons that I still remember today, where it's like, no, you gotta do something. You gotta earn it to get it. He's like, yeah, I could give it to you, but why? And I was like, you don't understand when you're a 7th grader or something like that, and you're like, what the heck? What do you mean? They got it, or they got a GoPed. Was the GoPed? Is that with the motor?
Moped, yeah.
They all got GoPeds, and my dad's like, oh, that's cool. He got me a scooter with no motor, as it was more of a way of like, well, that's cool for them, but you need to earn it, you know. And I think it's just
Like earning it and wanting it. Like I'm a type of person, I want shit. Like when I see something, I want it. You know what I'm saying? And like having that drive made me want like all the stuff that I have now. You know, I got my fast car. Even when I was younger, like I bought my Mustang for $4,000. It wasn't fast, but man, I was so happy when I bought that thing. I was just like, man, just wait till I turn this thing into a beast. Now that thing's fully built from the bottom up, and it's like my pride and joy, and it's like I will never sell that car. And like that car is, like you said, it's got character. Like I made that car, I put every little piece on that car. Yeah. But it's just like, and then like the like I have a CTSV, and that's like $100,000 car. But when everyone wanted to ask me, where's my Mustang? Because it's got more character. Yeah. Like it has just like more people know about that car. It's got more history and stuff like that. So, yeah, man, that's like it's a big thing. That's why it's that's funny that you said that. That's what a lot of people don't have it nowadays. I feel like it's character.
Yeah, we lack
they're
it.
Just straight like, oh, let me go on my phone and I'll figure it out. Like, or they're just like, like, I'll work smarter. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
or let me get famous off YouTube and then never have to have a job. You know, like nothing against YouTube, but it's like,
nothing against
that. The life we live now is I could become an influencer and all of a sudden never have to have a quote unquote real job and understand what it is like to shovel concrete or whatever it is. You know, my dad was in construction, so growing up he would have me do things, and my buddies, we would be working in his warehouse. He'd pay us well because we were his kids, but still, you know, you're 12 years old lugging around hundreds of pounds of boxes and you're like, dude, this sucks, but it's cool.
I think you realize too, it just shows you like, do you want to do this like when you're older? And you're like, no, like I don't want to do this.
So you're gonna do what you got to do to hustle.
Yeah, you're gonna do what you had to do. And like when I worked a warehouse job, $8 an hour in the warehouse, I would see nobody, just be in the back there, and you feel like a robot, like you don't even exist. Like no one even knows I'm here, and I could die and no one's gonna even know because I'm just back here, like just packing these orders like a robot. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you don't want that. Like to me, I'm like, is this gonna be my life? I remember kind of like feeling like lost when I was working those jobs, because I was just like, man, this is not what I want. Like, I got the money because I never had money, and that was my first time like getting paychecks. I was dope. Like, hell yeah, I get paid every 2 weeks. Like, this is the shit. And then after I was blowing money, I was like, man, this is just money, but like I'm working hella hours. Like, this is not worth my time. Like, that's why I said time is the most precious thing. I got to figure out how to make more money, less time, and it's just like, that's the game right there. And like I've always been a goal of mine to make money when I sleep, and now that I can say that I do that, it's just like crazy, because like I like the e-commerce website stuff, and making money while you sleep is the best feeling when you wake up and you see you got all these like sales and you're like, I seriously was just sleeping. Like that's the best feeling, you know.
Well, in an effort to help you make more money online, where can people find your website, or how can people get a hold of you if they want to?
Yeah, you could catch me on Pitbull Torres on YouTube. It's the same as my Instagram. And yeah, you can hit me up on Instagram. I'm pretty good with responding back, or email. I got my email on there too if it's a little bit more business. But yeah, those are pretty much my platforms right there.
Awesome. Well, man, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me, man.
Of course, man. Loved hearing your story. Cool. And remember, guys, that everything was impossible until someone did it. So, guys, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/The Fight Within Podcast. Find us on all audio platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere you guys like to listen to it. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for continuing to listen to it and watch it. We can see the growth on our analytics, and just want to thank you guys for supporting us. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Kingdom Nutrition. Make sure you guys go and visit their site over at kingdomnutrition.com and enter promo code MFW10 to get 10% off your next purchase. Kingdom Nutrition carries the best sports supplements on the market. They manufacture and curate their own line of supplements with the highest quality ingredients, including a lean protein, weight gainer protein, pre-workout, BCAAs, and an array of other products. They've recently created the world's first vegan chickpea protein, and it tastes amazing. I'm a big dude. I like food, and I like chocolate. So when they told me it comes in chocolate and vanilla, I got really happy. But if you're a workout enthusiast and you want to change up your diet, change up your protein, go check out their vanilla chickpea protein. It mixes well with anything. It'll blend great with a smoothie. So to get your hands on any of these products, just make sure and go visit kingdomnutrition.com. Remember to enter promo code MFW10 and get 10% off your next purchase. Let's go.